Okay, so today I'm not in the best of my shape. I have a cold. So I'm sorry if I don't look fine. I will try to do my best. The show was about the music of 1997. I'm laughing because I told that to an old friend who lives in Paris and who is of my age. We were friends when we were children, so we know each other since a very long time, since we were 8 years old. I told him it's a party about 1997, and he said, "What?" But that was yesterday. For us, it's not very recent, but it's recent. And we are like, what? Anyway, for me, 1997 was a very important year because it was the year when I went for the first time to Los Angeles. And I fell in love with Los Angeles, and then it changed completely my life because I wanted to move to LA, and I did it in 2006. But we came, my ex and my two children, we came in 1997 in LA to San Francisco, to Yosemite, you know, the big trees. We went also to the Grand Canyon and Las Vegas. We traveled a lot on the road, in the car, a lot. So we were listening to music, the radio all the time in the car. And that's probably how I absorbed all the musics, and it made also my younger son, who is a musician and a composer, it made also his education because he was a small child then, but he absorbed all this music. And when we came back to Paris, he wanted this and that record and this and that. And of course, he was listening to all this music at home in Paris. So even if I was not buying for myself all what we heard, I absorbed the music too because I could hear it all the time at home. That's what was interesting. I wanted to go to see if I would be able to recognize all the musics that they were going to play. Actually, I did. I think that I recognized basically 85% of what I heard. So some young people were coming to play for what is for them old. You know, it's like, for me, it's like, I don't know, it's incredible because for me, 1997 really is not very recent, but it's rather recent. So I'm like, wow, they are already interested in that music. I mean, my younger son was already born. He was very already into music, and I remember that when Kurt Cobain died, so it was before, in 1994, my son was completely upside down because for him, Kurt Cobain, Nirvana, it was like God. So it was the Kurt Cobain generation. Anyway, I was curious to see these young people playing some 1997 musics year, which for me was a true shift in my life because for me it's the Los Angeles year. We went for the new year to London, that I love, and in the summer we came to LA for the first time and I fell in love. So what was I listening to in 1997? I was for sure listening to The Doors. It was not from 1997, but I was listening to The Doors because it's when I started painting around the doors in 1996. So I was in it. I was also listening a lot to The Who, which are much from before, of course. For example, of course, The Verve, Urban Hymns. That was a big hit. Bittersweet Symphony, big hit. But I love the whole album. I talked about this album in one of my videos about Marcolis at the very beginning, probably in 2014. I talked about this album. I made a comparison between Marcolis and that. But I recommend that. It's from 1997, but I really recommend it. It's still It's an excellent album. Marcolis, he went to another record company, and the new record company, I think, was the one which was taking care of the Verve. Love that. Sixpence None the Richer, I was listening to that. You are probably going to find more easily this image. In France, they added this image. It's like that. Anyway, this album, excellent. I was listening to it a lot. I remember when I was painting by listening to that. It's a very rather calm album, but I recommend it. Very good. Not my kind of music usually, but this one is particular, I would say. I thought they were Irish. No, they are not. They are American from Texas. Talking about Texas, not my cup of tea, but I liked the first song, Say What You Want. I bought the album, but honestly, I wouldn't buy it today. I'm not a big fan of that. But I recognize that it's not bad, but it's not my usual cup of tea. Anyway, you know, I'm not very into girls singing. It's terrible to say that, but when it's too cutesy or when it's too perfect, I don't like. I like when it's eccentric, like when it's particular, like Kate Bush, like Björk, like Annie Lennox. This woman, yes, but otherwise, not so much. This album is from 1997, not the best by David Bowie. It's not what I prefer, but I like I'm Afraid of American, I'm Afraid of the World. I love this song. That's why I bought the album, just for the song. I like when Trent Reznor, he made a remix, very good. My son was a lot into 9 Inch Nails, so same thing. I never bought an album of 9 Inch Nails, but my son listened to it so much that I basically know everything about N.I.N. So this is not from 1997, it's from 2013. It's not because it's 1997 that I'm showing that, it's because it's Daft Punk. And Daft Punk, they are French. They released an album in 1997, and there was this song, very famous song, Around the World. And we could hear that in the car in the US during the whole trip, and we were singing with my sons and husband on it, and we loved that. So that's why I'm showing you. I recommend this album, actually. It's a Random Access Memories. Oh, I loved it. So joyful. If you want something joyful, this one. So this is not from 1997. It's from 1995. It's the Chili Peppers, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. 1 Hot Minute. But in 1997, I was listening to that, and I love this album. I recommend it also. But I love the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I have a lot of albums. I have until Stadium Arcadium. I think I have all the albums of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. My hero, The Color and the Shape, Foo Fighters. It's from 1997. We were listening to that because my son was very into the Foo Fighters, and me too. So I went to the show. When I arrived, it was already, there were a lot of people. It was completely full. I managed to have a seat on the right of the stage when you look at the stage, and I didn't move from here to be able to film, and I had no idea what to expect. I just saw that there were a lot of girls playing, and there were a lot of guitars on the stage, so I thought it's probably going to be something rather acoustic. The best is that I show you. I have the names because they were giving this paper with the names of the people in it. However, I think that one person, a woman, is missing, because there was this girl, Rachel Goodrich, who was supposed to play 2 tracks, and she could only play one because she didn't work enough. So another woman came to pitch in to help, but I think that the name of this other woman, who was actually singing really well and who comes from Canada, I think her name is not there, so I'm very annoyed because I would have liked to tell her that she's on the video. Yeah, I wanted to go to see the artist at the end of the show, but everybody was gone already, and I could only talk to Austin Manuel, and he told me, yes, of course, you can show. So I'm going to contact all the artists, and hopefully they will be happy. So she's Kailynn West.
I hate the world today.
Don't ask me names of the songs, because my problem is that I have a very good memory for the music. If I hear a song on the radio or in a place, in a shop, for example, or at someone's place, or if my son was, when he was listening to music, if I like the song, it was recorded in my mind. And if it was again and again and again, if I could hear it again and again and again, you can be sure that I could remember, not the lyrics, I'm not very good with the lyrics, but I could remember what was doing each instrument, all the details of the song. And if it's an album, I could tell you what is the next song.
Must have been relieved to see the softer side.
I knew by heart everything. So if, for example, this song, I knew it, I probably heard it on the radio, because that is not the kind of thing that my son was listening to, and I don't either. But probably I heard it many times on the radio, and I knew the song. I'm unable to tell you who sang that, what is the name of the song, what are the lyrics. I have no idea, but I know the song. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to be very good at giving you the names of the song. When I know, I will tell you, but when I don't know, I prefer saying nothing rather than something stupid.
I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother.
Oh, I'm a bitch is the name of the song.
He came around like he was dignified. Showed me what it was to cry. Nothing where we used to lie. Conversation has run dry. Into something real. I'm wide awake and I can see the perfect sky is full.
That is the verb. I know that.
She's living, she's golden, she lives for me. Says she lives for me all day.
So you see, typically the kind of songs that I would absorb because I don't hate it, but it's certainly not something that I will listen to at home. It's not my style.
And I'll make her smile like a child for you. Do ever what you want, come on.
I don't hate it, I like it, but I think that I realize that I like the things a little more more muscled, I would say.
And I'll speak to you like the chorus to the verse. Drop another line like a code with a curse. Something else to get me through this. So much on kind of way.
I don't like so much soft music.
Goodbye.
It's a little cute, not cutesy in the negative sense. I mean, a little too cute.
No one joined on that?
Too girly. It's not me. Not that I'm a tomboy. I'm not a tomboy at all. But I like spectacular music. I have no idea what it is, but I know that. Oh. The famous Rachel Goodrich, who didn't do her homework.
How's it go again?
Oh, got it. Oh my god. I love this song. All the loneliness has always been a friend of mine.
But she started playing something like that, a little bluesy at the guitar, and I was like, what? Wow! She was playing really well, it was really good, and then she stopped, and she started doing her song, and I thought, what was that?
Leaving my life in your hands. Do you guys know this song?
I like that.
People say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all on a chance.
Much better than she imagines. It's a pity because she seems to be very good.
How you got me blind is still a mystery. That's like the worst line to me. Oh god. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long as you love me.
If she was working a little more, she would do something.
Feels like it's deep within me. Doesn't really matter if you're on the run. It seems like we're meant to be. I don't care who you are, where you're from. Okay, this next part.
The song was really nice, what she was singing.
I try to hide it so that no one knows, but I guess it shows when I look into, when you look into my eyes. What you did and where you're coming from, I don't care. No, I don't care. As long as you love me. Here's the thing.
I knew that.
Okay, one more time together. Ready for this last chorus? I'm not gonna look at my words.
Don't ask me what it is, I have no idea.
Who you are, where you're from, don't care what you did, as long as you love me. Don't care what you did, as long as you love me.
Hi. So Rachel was supposed to learn 2 songs, but she didn't. Okay, and it just so happened that I learned this song that came out in 1997 for a 90s night we did last week. So I feel like it's really serendipitous. Maybe I'll stand up.
It's meant to be.
It's meant to be.
I wasn't supposed to learn that second song.
You weren't? You just tricked me?
No, I mean like it was meant to be that I was supposed to learn.
Oh. Okay.
Is it this guy?
that I should plug in? Well, I grew up in Canada and didn't realize how much pop country I listened to until recently. I was a huge Shania Twain fan growing up. Anybody else? Shania Twain? Queen of country. You would have caught the show last week at the Standard. You would have seen me in a leopard bustier, but I decided to tone it down for tonight. But I'm gonna sing "You're Still the One," and I'm gonna try to let's see if I can do the talking parts. So.
This is the woman, I don't have the name for her.
When I first saw you, I said, oh, yeah, looks like we made it. Look how far we come, my baby.
It's a very famous song.
They said, I bet,
No, I don't want to say something stupid.
but just look at us holding on. You're still the one I want for life. Still the one I dream of. You're still the one I kiss goodnight.
That is a cover of Police. So then it was McKenzie of Derde, Verde. It's through him that I was aware. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I was saying it's through him that I was aware that there was this show of 1997.
I used to watch a lot of MTV back then, and I think that's where I discovered most of the songs that we've heard tonight. I'm going to play a couple songs from OK Computer. One that you probably know.
It's very strange because he told me that he told on his page that he was going to play 2 songs of OK Computer by Radiohead, and I said, oh, Radiohead, I mostly know the album Hail to the Thief. I remember because I listened to the album when we came back from Los Angeles in 2003, because we came back to Los Angeles in 2003, and I remember that I was listening to Hail to the Thief after the trip.
And one that is a B-side from OK Computer that I didn't really know too well before this. Anyway.
Out of curiosity, I wanted to listen to OK Computer, so I went on YouTube to listen to it. And I was cleaning my shop by listening to it, and I started singing on the album all the songs. I knew all the songs. And I thought, but I'm not supposed to know this album. I never had this album. How can I know it? And I really knew it. I started thinking that maybe my son was listening to it. So I texted him, my son, did you listen to OK Computer? Because I know all the songs. I never bought the album, so it can only come from you. I said, of course, of course, this album is a masterpiece. Of course, you couldn't forget that.
And when it comes, it's so disappointing.
So probably my son was listening to the whole album all the time at home, and I recorded in my mind everything, and I knew all the songs. And anyway, there are songs in the album which are very famous, so we have to know them. Radiohead that he played? I knew it too. So, you know, my head is full of things that I'm not even aware of.
Down and hanging around.
Such a mess here.
Just smashed, juices flowing, stretch, legs are growing.
I know my son loves Radiohead.
Sentimentally, it all listens up dream.
My younger son, because my older son, no, it was totally different. My older son was much into, actually at the beginning he was much into the Red Hot Chili Peppers. But then I started listening to the Red Hot a lot, and my older son was like, oh, now I'm fed up with them, you listen to them too much. So he switched to something else. My older son is really much into dance techno and things like that, which is not really my thing. My younger son is much more in metal, hard rock. Things a little trashy like that. Now,
If I get scared, I'll just call you.
that is beautiful.
Your schizophrenia,
Thank you.
Tin Manuel.
Cool. I'm gonna do an experiment. Doing a couple songs. This is just like an art project right now, so could fail. But my friend lent me this tape thing, and I'm having some fun with it. And the songs that I'm doing, or one of them, just kind of like really needed something behind it, you know.
Need some tape. Yeah. So, let's see how this sounds.
So he had something, he had a recording, it was not completely acoustic for him. Don't ask me what it is, I have no idea.
As I listen through the cemetery trees. By the way, sing along.
I know this song, but I don't know what it is. Austin, if you are watching this video, tell me what it is. That is more the kind of thing that I could have listened to in 1997. I was surrounded with guys. Two boys, my sons, plus my ex-husband, plus my cat, who was male too. And yes, we didn't have our dog anymore, but my dog was a boy too. So we were listening to men musics. I loved men musics. I'm more into men musics than girls music. I'm sorry.
Downtown by myself, and I had so much time to sit
That is so famous.
and think about myself, and then there she was.
This song, at the beginning, I thought, oh, that is some Nirvana, some Kurt Cobain, but it's impossible because Kurt Cobain died in 1994, so in 1997 there was no Kurt Cobain anymore, there was no Nirvana anymore. Wondering what it is, and actually I don't know. If my younger son was here, he would tell me right away what it is.
Yeah, there she was, like disco superfly.
I know this song so well, and I remember that we were hearing it on the radio, in the car in Los Angeles, but not only in Paris, also everywhere.
I smell sexy candy, yeah.
I perfectly know this song.
Who's that casting devious stares in my direction? Mama, this surely is a dream. Yeah.
I don't like when I don't know.
Hey, mama, this surely is a dream. Dig it.
I have a tendency to mix 1997 with 2003 because we made a trip to Los Angeles these 2 years. In 1997, we were listening to Franz Ferdinand. No, it was in 2003.
Hanging round downtown by myself, and I had so much caffeine.
We were listening to Offspring. No, it was in 2003. These are musics that my son was listening to.
Like double platform suede, yeah, there she was.
Also because we were hearing it on the radio. I also thought Coldplay. No, 2000 Parachute. So it's impossible that we were listening to Coldplay in 1997. It's impossible.
Like disco lemonade.
There was a song. It was a kind of rap. The green thumb. I have a green thumb. I remember that, but I think it was in 2003 too. It was not 1997.
I smell sexy candy, yeah.
So I was like, that's strange that I don't remember what I was listening to. But when I hear all these songs,
Who's that lounging in my chair?
yeah, I was so into the Doors at that period, the Red Hot Chili Peppers and the Who. But it was not from the 1997.
Who's that casting devious stares in my direction? Mama, this surely is a dream.
Yeah, the Foo Fighters, it was later. Foo Fighters, I started listening to them in 2003-4, but my son was listening to them anyway, so I knew most of the songs already. I have several albums by the Foo Fighters.
Hey, mama, this surely is a dream.
Anyway, this song, super famous.
Hey, mama, this must be my dream.
That is ta pa 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 ta da 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 ta da 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 da. I'm sorry, I'm not respecting the beat, but same thing. We could hear that on the radio all the time. Malena Cadiz.
You walk down Alameda, shuffling your deck of trick cards over every wall.
Very nice.
She's only sent.
Same thing. I know the song. I don't know what it is.
Face down, bow to the champion.
know it so well, but I already heard that for sure.
For your own protection over their affection. Oh, how could I scraped up the money? I never could quite tell your nose to see you smile. I'll do anything you wanted me to, just to see you smile.
Through the eyes of a girl still around the morning after.
So his song reminded me something, but I cannot say that I knew really well the song. So the second song, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I'm learning to hunt for you.
In green, and she was playing just with her bass, and she had a recording on her iPad.
Am I strung out, crazy, or not allowed to be the one who gets stupid over you?
The bass, the vibration of the bass, it was so bass that I could feel the vibration in the wall and on the bench where I was sitting.
Just on crack, why am I the one who gets fucked up and confused?
It was, yes, it was moving so much. We could feel the bass sound. It was very impressive.
Go.
I didn't know her songs. I never saw a girl playing some bass and singing above it. I don't remember to have seen that before. It's the first time, so I found that really very interesting to watch. I found that very surprising. Not that a girl cannot play some bass. It made me think, in a quite different style, of Flea. On this album, there is a song named P. Yes, P. It's the sixth song, and Flea sings, I'm a little bee. And he plays the bass, and it's very surprising, and it gave me a little the same effect there. I'm sorry, I don't sing the lyrics because it's not very appropriate on a video. that is the Foo Fighters. Yes, there was this DJ who was playing some music between each artist. Basically, yes, all what the DJ played I knew, but he was playing very famous things. I'm going to search for photos of me and my family in 1997, and I will put them at the end of this video if you want to see what we were doing in 1997. The evening was really nice and very pleasant and a very good ambiance. It was really nice. So, okay, hopefully next time I won't be so sick. I see you in my next one.